Today we're going to look at graphing linear equations. The first thing that we're going to do to graph a linear equation is to put the equation in slope-intercept form. Remember that is y equals mx plus b. So that's when you take an equation and solve it for y. Then we're going to identify the slope, which is the m from that equation, and the y-intercept, which is the b from your slope-intercept form. Then we're going to put a point on the y-axis. This point is going to be the y-intercept. That's why it's called that, because it's going on the y-axis. Then when you look at the slope, the number that's in the top, which is your numerator, the top number from the slope tells you how many you're either going to move up or down. Then the denominator, which is the bottom number from your slope. The bottom number from your fraction tells you how many you're going to move to the right. Okay, so let's look at example 1. It says graph the equation y equals negative 2/3 x minus 4. So the most important thing to notice here is that this one's already in slope-intercept form, so it's easy just to find our slope and our y-intercept. So our slope is the number that's with your x, which in this case is negative 2/3. The y-intercept is whatever you're adding or subtracting from it, which in this case is negative 4. So when we graph, we're going to start with the y-intercept. So notice this is already even labeled, your y-axis. So that means we're going to go on the y-axis to negative 4 and put your first point. Now from wherever that y-intercept is, the next thing you're going to do is your slope. But you're going to start from the y-intercept, which was at negative 4. So our slope is negative 2/3, so that means we're going to go down 2, and then we're going to go write the number on the bottom, which is 3, and we're going to put a point there. So that means each time we go down 2 and write 3, that gives us another point on our line. And then we're just going to connect there, and there's our line. So example 2 says graph the equation y equals negative 3x plus 4. So once again, this one's already in slope-intercept form. So we're just going to name our slope and our y-intercept. So the slope is the number that's in front of x once it's solved for y, which is negative 3. But typically we want our slope to be a fraction. So in order to make this a fraction, we're just going to take that and put it over 1. So our slope's going to be negative 3 over 1. Our y-intercept is whatever we're adding to it, which in this case is plus 4. So once again, our y-intercept goes on our y-axis, which is our vertical axis there. So we're going to go up 4 and put a point right there on 4. Then we're going to do our slope from the y-intercept. So our slope in this case is negative 3, so that means we're going to go down 3. And then write the number on the bottom, which is 1, which gives us another point. So each time we go down 3 and write 1, that gives us another point on the line. Down 3 and write 1. And then we're just going to connect, which gives us our line. So example 3 is not in slope-intercept form. So we have the equation x plus 3y equals 6. So the first thing we're going to have to do is put this in slope-intercept form, which means you're solving for y. So the first thing we're going to do is subtract x, which gives us 3y equals negative x plus 6, or you could have that as 6 minus x. We're trying to get y by itself, so we're going to divide by 3. So we'll have y equals, so remember this is a 1 in front of this x, so 3 does not go into 1, so negative 1/3 x, but 3 does go into 6, so plus 2. So our slope is the number in front of our x, because this is in slope-intercept form now. So our slope is negative 1/3, and our y-intercept is positive 2. So once again, you start on the y-axis for your y-intercept, which is 2. Then, from wherever the y-intercept is, then you do your slope. So from the y-intercept, which is at 2, we're going to go down 1 since it's negative, and then write 3. So that means each time you go down 1 and right 3, that gives you another point on your line. And then we'll just connect. Okay, so last example, we have graph the equation 3x minus 4y equals 8. So this one is not in slope-intercept form either, which means you have to get this in slope-intercept form. So to do that, you're going to solve for y. So the first thing we're going to do is subtract 3x, which will give us negative 4y equals negative 3x plus 8, where you could have 8 minus 3x. Okay, we're still trying to solve for y, so now we're going to divide everything by negative 4. So we'll have y equals, so we're going to start with negative 3 divided by negative 4. Put our x with it. 4 doesn't go into 3, but we can say this negative divided by negative is positive 3/4 x. Then we're going to divide 8 divided by negative 4, which is negative 2. So that's your equation in slope-intercept form. So now the slope is the number with x, which in this case is positive 3/4. The y-intercept is whatever you add or subtract from it, which in this case is negative 2. So once again, you start with the y-intercept. So this is your y-axis. So your y-intercept is negative 2. So go to negative 2 on your y-axis. Then we're going to do our slope, which is positive 3/4. So from the y-intercept, you go up 3, since it's a positive, and go right 4 for your denominator, which gives us a point right there. So every time you would go up 3 and right 4, just going to put this off the graph there a little bit, that gives you another point on your line. So we'll just connect. There's your line.